Hey guys, welcome to another video brought to you by Total Control Traders. In today's video, we're going to do a little bit deeper dive into the market because there is some red flags that's showing up. So I wanted to bring it to your attention. So today, this morning, market open or pre-market was all new time highs. But then as market opened, we started pulling back already. But so far, we have held that previous all-time high zone. If I were to draw a zone, it would be right there. So we are holding that zone for now. Lost it slightly, but closed above it. Now, before we get deeper into the charts, there's a couple of things I want to note. First of all, congrats bulls. If you sold your position at the morning, that would have been a decent gap up. I was just looking at the videos that I've uploaded since the beginning of this month, and there's been time after time of SPY new all-time high messages on the topics, and this is now leading me to think whether the euphoria is potentially coming soon. So something to note, we're not in the market to call the tops or the bottoms. We're participating in it to make money. Thus, we need to make sure that we're looking both directions when we're trading. Okay, and today there are some red flags that's showing up. Now, with the rate that we're running, I'm getting surprised time after time. And although we anticipated the rejection of the 1-to-1 extension back here, and we anticipated the bull flag, but it is still, regardless, is becoming a little bit concerning. Although the ultimate target, we are still looking at 40.90. But with red flags, potentially you want to be looking at maybe hedging or trimming some positions, which is exactly what I did today. Now the idea, of course, is play with the trend until it ends, make the easy money. So look at this. The trend is clearly bullish ever since beginning of November. Up to now is 2.5 months now. And that target is not so far away. Last time I checked, it was 3%. Yeah, just about 3% away to that 40.90. So there is still a chance. But remember to look both directions. I have begun taking profits on my personal bull positions just to stay protective. Now let's get into the charts a little bit deeper here. It's going to be a little bit harder to read, so let's clean this up. This one up, doesn't apply anymore. All right, so on the chart, the daily, we confirm the daily bull flag. However, there's a little bit lacking of follow through. This was yesterday's candle, even though yesterday wasn't open. So that's why there's a lack of volume. But Friday is a little bit lack of volume as well. From here, we're seeing some bear volume come in. And we still haven't touched the daily 8. So ultimately, the daily 8 is the guide right now. If we were to zoom into the 4 hours, we can see we're holding the previous high right now. Some bear volume coming in, trading under the 4 hour 8. Hourly is where we should be looking at. Now, hourly, if you were to draw a fib from the low of the pre-run to new all-time high and to the all-time high, this GP lines up with this key trend line that we have been rejecting. Support from the bull flag, the bull pennant, triple support there. So this is key to hold. For those of you that haven't seen it, I started a Instagram for this group, and I posted that intraday. This is the breaking point of the bull thesis. So keep your eyes on this trend line. GP now is just under. When I posted it, I think it was around here. I was anticipating, a perfect confluence. If we were to touch this and both start showing up, that would be a gold signal. However, we fell short. Then we bounced and rejected from the hourly 8. Now we are seeing slightly further bear action. Gonna have to give it a couple more hours to see whether if we break the hourly 8. First sign for bull confidence is breaking the hourly 8. So with the red flags, what I'm seeing is This backtest is a little bit too early. The biggest red flag that I saw was if we're looking at 4-hour chart. Okay, this trend line, the upper trend line, we rejected, came up, rejected again to form that bull pennant. Then we finally broke through it, but there wasn't much follow through. My personal anticipation was a little bit more follow through before we come back test, but not much follow through, came back test the previous high instead. So that's first red flag. Second, bear volumes started showing up this morning. 3 hours in a row, there were consistent bear volumes. Third, rejecting from the RD8. So now that there's 3 red flags that I'm seeing, I have begun taking profits on my bull positions. Will not be swinging full sizing anymore. I was full bull ever since, I think this dip. Yeah, this dip got bought. Key trend line to hold. From there, I've been full bull ever since. And now I have trimmed a big position. Want to see this confirmation first, whether if we break the RD8 or if we're going to break down to the GP. Even if the GP still holds, I am still confident in bulls. All right, sorry about that. The dog was barking. All right, so the key will be tonight overnight because the range is getting really tight. We are either going to break the RD8 and see continuation upwards, resumption of bull movement, or we will see a break under before a bounce, or just complete breakdown. Less likely because the bear volume is still not too significant. It is consistent though. All right, NAS. Similar idea, back tested the previous all-time high. Let's draw a zone here. Having a hard time finding the high. Okay, this looks right. Broke down twice now. NAS is clearly a little bit weaker comparing to SPX. Yeah, SPX is still above that zone, but NAS broke down twice already and is getting close to losing it. So worth noting. Part of the positions I exited today was Apple position. That was a dividend play anyway, so figured, hey, it's up $10, why not? Take it. From here, if we were to make a lower low, we will be looking at potential hourly bull divergence and see a bounce from there. Same with the NAS. If we were to make it lower low into the GP, likely to form a bull divergence and bounce from there. Dow's clearly weaker. Yeah, clearly weaker on Dow. Let's see, same as before. The big techs are much weaker than SPX is overall. We actually lost that previous all-time high zone. Closed under it once before the bounce. So as mentioned before, there is a sector rotation that we are seeing. The big techs, the big names, they are seeing rotation out into the smaller caps, and that's why the penny stocks you're seeing much better runs. And I read something today about SEC starting to take a closer look at the penny stocks that are bouncing and monitoring them. So keep that in mind. All right, other thing I wanted to look at was the VIX. VIX, we broke down. Does this look like 19? Yeah. Okay, I think there's a closer time frame I was looking at. There we go. So we lost the 20 very slightly by 5 cents. And from there today we gapped up, but nothing significant. I didn't see this towards the end of the day. Didn't know that it started going up again. So this is yet another slight red flag, depending on where this is going to go. But when I was looking at this earlier today, we were trending downwards. So I was confident holding it throughout the day. But towards the end of the day, the bounce on SPX was not nearly as strong as we've seen before on previous dips. So decided to start trimming my position. And judging by the VIX, the reaction towards the end of day, I think that's the right call. All right, so a little bit concerning, but nothing major yet. Until we break this upper trend line. Yeah. And this is why it's a good time to potentially think about hedging, because VIX is so low. Use VIX as a hedge. The way using VIX as a hedge is it requires extra patience, because as you can see, the overall trend is always going to be a downward trend, but it does have those occasional spikes. So as long as you're getting towards like averaging down kind of thing, once you hit that spike, it's easily green. Just remember, don't go into full force at once. Gold still on the downward trend. I believe is a weekly bull flag. Nope. Monthly bull flag. Monthly bull flag now losing the monthly 8. So notable downward trend on gold. Silver, opposite direction. We're seeing some bull momentum coming in before getting shut down earlier today. US dollars, another slight red flag because there is a potential for head and shoulders. This neckline, once we break this neckline and close below, we should see substantial follow through into the downward. So key is whether if we're going to reject this key zone right now. There's key previous support and resistance zone. Gonna have to see that reaction at 90.73. All right, that's it for the market. Let's get into the hottest tickers. First one, Bitcoin. We got quite a bit of tickers to go through today, so I'm gonna try to speed it up a little bit more. Bitcoin holding the daily 8, clear bull flag, a very strong bull flag. From here, 1-to-1 extension target, we're looking at 54,582. And the clear guide is the daily 8. Use that as your guide. You can see bounce from here. Now we're bouncing again. Bulls, decent. No major red flags aside from potential daily divergence, but seems to be slowly negating it. Gonna have to see a reaction. Yeah, just use the daily 8 as your guide. Easy stop. All right, next is Tesla. Oh, Tesla. Okay, clearly weaker. Trading under the daily 8. Lost the trend line. And this potential new trend line must hold. If we were to lose this, there is a gap below down here, and you'll be looking down at 750? No, 740.84 to fill that gap. If this yesterday's low was lost, or Friday's low was lost. 780, easy stop. Below 780, looking down at 740. Next, NVDA. Strong bull momentum, strong follow through. A little bit lack of bull volume today, but we did close near that all-time high. Well, it is an all-time high close. We did close near that high of day. No divergences. Nothing concerning. Earning is coming up on February 24th. I trimmed quite a bit of position on NVIDIA today due to how we are getting a little bit extended from the daily 8. And we are extended from the weekly 8. We could very well see a follow through into that 666 area to bring us very extended on the weekly before we come back. But given where the market is at, decided to trim majority of the NVIDIA positions, still have a core in. 666 remains the target. Next, PSTH. Switched up the hottest tickers. Switched up 2 of them today, actually. So PSTH, very interesting, seeing that big bull volume coming in again. Last time we saw it, there was a gap down or sell off, likely due to news. Can't remember what exactly it was, but that volume came in. And we are now closing over this long-term trend line ever since the IPO. So the trend line has been broken. closed over it, reached that 1.618 extension at 33.84, but then rejected from there. From here, anticipation is further bullish action due to the volume, unless something else comes out like last time. But normal course would assume further bullish action. Clear bull volume outweighing bear volume. Next, FSR. Getting extended from the daily 8, but it is holding up very well. Low bear volume after huge bull volume yesterday. This chart is looking great. We did make a new high from yesterday, closed higher than yesterday. Earnings coming up as well on 25th. No divergences. From here, anticipation is a bull flag to form. Want to see that decreasing bear volume forming a bull flag. Wait for the daily 8 to catch up, and then the next leg up. Next, so FSR is actually one of the strongest bullish charts that we're looking at. Actually, there was something. Oh, there we go. GP rejection. Okay. Next, Zoom. Took some profits off of this one as well today. We have been in this trade since the lows of 331, and then we trimmed somewhere around there from the trend line, and then added again. I think my entry was, I want to say break of this. Yeah, that sounds right. Break of 400. Break of 400, add entry. So it's been 11% in, I can't remember now. Let's see. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6%, 11% in six days. I think that's pretty decent. Ultimately, we are still looking up at 460, the gap fill. So I do have a sizable position in still, but took some profits just to ensure a decent win. 460 is the target. Nice increasing bull volume. Gonna want to see that tomorrow. Of course, given market participation, there's gonna be lots of nice bull plays out there. And I just want to check back. Oh, back in the zone again. All right, that's it for hottest ticker. Next one, first one up, the requested ticker is TLRY. All right, so on TLRY, we had a very nice hold on the GP and the previous support resistance zone. Held that. Oh, this actually looks better if you just go like that. Reject and stall. So that zone we held, which lines up perfectly with GP. And then from here, we saw the bounce. Broke that hourly 8. Ultimately, we'll be looking up at the 0.382 of this whole move down for the bounce. Upper wicks forming a little bit concerning, but there is lack of bear volume. The 0.382 lines up with previous rejections. There's a rejection here too. So makes sense it's going to be somewhere around there in that price range of 40.4 to 44.16. Look at it on the daily. No significant bull volume yet. Earnings is coming up on the 17th, tomorrow. So if you're playing the bounce, make sure you know your game plan for going into earnings. If you're in the profit, ideally you should be in the profit already based on this bounce. Perhaps trim some of it. You wouldn't want to be gambling into earnings. Okay, just do lotto sizing. Next, APHA. The more decent one of the bounces. Head and shoulders confirming. Broke the trend line. Or the neckline. Where is it? There we go. Broke the neckline. Basically just gapped up and then kept running today. Today was from Friday's close. There's a 28% move. Congrats, APHA bulls. Broke through that 0.382. Use that hourly 8 as your guide. If you're looking at protecting your profits, perhaps even use the 30 or the 15. We can see we haven't even touched the 38 yet. The 30-minute 8. 15 is the clear guide on the shorter term. But chart is looking strong. From here, you want to be looking at where the balance is going to be going into. So if you draw a fib from the high to the low, you would see GP, no noticeable confluences. 0.5 would make sense because there is a key rejection, key resistance here, 2350-ish. Next, sundial. Nice bounce, slow bounce, holding the trend line. Trend line is your guide. Lost the GP, so the move down has been stronger than TLRY. Trend line is key to hold. From here, there's no clear confluences. Yeah, not really a name that I'd be playing right now. No volume whatsoever. Looks like it might just form a wedge. All right, next one, COTY. Rejection from whatever this, I think this is a channel. Oh, long-term channel. Wow. All right, long-term channel. This upper trend line still serving as resistance. Fake out breakout on last week, then rejection today again. So unless this trend line breaks, it's gonna be a bit risky to play. I mean, there is easy stop, so if you want to play this, easy stop is under 620. 620. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, I would even call it right here. 629. You wouldn't want to put your stop at 629 because these two kind of wicks would have faked you out, stop hunted you. So key support is still going to be around this zone. Just place under under $6, maybe even 590. But easy stop. Volume is not convincing for a break though. Watch the volume for the break. There is lots of upside to this chart. Volume is not convincing so far. Next, BRQS. Nice volume on Thursday. Yep, Thursday. And rejecting from previous, not even a strong resistance. Trying to find a zone, see if there's anything that works. It's gonna be somewhere around here. No, that's too big of an area. But regardless, you get the idea. This is the key zone to break, which we are in right now. And it doesn't go back any further. I don't like that zone, but yeah, it's gonna be somewhere around there. We're gonna need to break 3.42. Volume is nice. Want to see follow through going into tomorrow. RSI is hot, getting overbought, but not seeing any major red flags yet. Next, ITRM. Ethereum therapeutics. I see a long-term channel. That has potentially broken bull. Let's see. Yeah, that makes more sense. All right, so long-term channel, support, resistance, multiple rejections. From there, volume not convincing on the break. Bear volume clearly outweighing, well, it's a chop zone. The 88 is your guide right now. which lines up with previous high. We got into that gap fill territory and then we just got shot down. Watch this long-term channel's upper trend line. You're going to want to see the volume on the break, or else don't trust the move. Next, STPK. New all-time highs. Congrats as Star Peak Energy bulls. From here, we are seeing a clear bear divergence now. Last time we saw a bear divergence, it was a 36% pullback. Something to note. The time before that, the bear divergence, there was a 37% pullback. So now it's a matter of where we're going to top out. We can clearly see that there's no volume signaling top here. There is a volume signaling a top from back here though. So watch for that climax on the shorter term. This daily bear divergence is very noticeable. Upon the next pullback, if we were to pull back from here on 36%, we'd be looking at down at 30 bucks. So this kind of trade, my recommendation would be to just play the momentum. Just play short term, scalp. Look at, and you got to be watching very closely too on the shorter time frame. Watch what the volume looks like. So volume at the end of the day still looks nice. So we'll be watching for a gap up tomorrow. There is divergences as well on the shorter time frame. On the daily, if we were to gap up, we would start getting extended. Just start, not too extended. So just start getting extended from the daily 8. But yeah, not something I'd be touching right now, especially after today's run. Next, PLTR. Huge bear volume. Negative earnings of 508% surprise. And from there, we are at least holding this key support zone. Haven't looked at this ticker for quite some time, but now it's starting to look a little bit interesting. We're back now at this key support. I want to see a few more days of action before determining a clear pattern to play off of. Because right now, aside from the key support, I'm not seeing anything else. We clearly lost a GP from this move down. So be patient. This is going to be a good play though. Next, PTON. I didn't realize this PTON move until the end of the day, that this is a clear bearish engulfing candlestick, and Marubozu as well, Marubozu candle as well. So very clear bearish signal, and it's giving me a red flag now that we are rejecting from this upper trend line. We were tracking this triangle instead, but today I realized there's another trend line that could be, and we clearly rejected off of it. That is not something you want to see after a clear wedge break on decent volume. Today what we wanted to see is increasing bull volume. So getting a little bit concerned on this trade, but as long as we hold, I wouldn't put my stop back down here. As long as we hold this this day's low, 142.70, I'm okay staying in it. It still looks like an accumulation zone to me. Perhaps they didn't finish accumulating yet. That's why it got shut down. But we'll be using this clear zone as support. Next, Amazon. All right, trim some Amazon positions today because similar idea to PTON, not the ideal follow through that we're looking for. Slight increase in bull volume by rejecting from the upper trend line of the long-term wedge again. On the hourly, it looks a little bit decent because we did hold that. There's a lot of trend lines in here. We did hold that inner trend line, but on the wedge break like this, you want to see more follow through. Low bear volume, that's good, but low bull volume as well. So let's see what tomorrow brings us. We want to see a break of this wedge, long-term wedge on volume. That's the gold signal, similar to the NVDA play, which has paid us very well. Next, space. Kind of a messy chart, eh? Let's see. Touch the 1 to 2 extension, rejecting from there, and now this whole move, it's been a huge move. So still looking at this 0.5 and the previous all-time high and the lower trend line. Triple confluence, this is where I'll be looking for an entry. Next, initial entry. Next is NEO. The second of the PTON and Amazon, a little bit disappointing. We finally bounced from this trend line and now we're losing it just at the end of the day. Low bear volume, so we'll give this trade a little bit more time. You're gonna want to see a hold of this previous low, that 54.45 zone. This zone could drag out. If it does, I want to see tomorrow. I might exit tomorrow. On the loss of this trend line, a little bit of a concerning for me. But if we look at this, this was a loss as well. Got bought up the next candle. So let's see what the next candle looks like. Keeping a close eye on NEO though. Next, BNGO. Congrats, BNGO bulls. What a gap up. We anticipated that. So it's entered a position on Friday. Initial position. Bull volume, not too significant. There is a bear divergence on the daily. So there's a lot of bear divergence forming on the charts now across the board. That adds to the concern of potential euphoria. I'm hearing a lot of people opening up trading accounts and they're looking to buy Tesla, buy this, because there is so much FOMO going around right now. So I'm going to start to hedge. Just a warning. We'll be looking at potentially flipping that switch to the bear side. No major red flags aside from the daily 8 yet. Shorter term looks okay. Bulls are still clearly outweighing bears. So gonna use the 30-minute A as your guide. Bounce, never closed under, bounced again. And now we are seeing bull follow through, closing at the high of day, 1560. Oh, exactly the high of day. Right, next is SLV. What happened to this chart? When I looked at it earlier, today was bull. We broke this previous resistance when I looked at it earlier on today. And then it just got sold off. We were going into that gap fill territory. Nice bull volume. I want to see the follow through tomorrow. Increasing daily bull volume. Lost and closed under the trend line. There's a lot of these kind of same setups lately. Definitely a cause for concern. Is there a daily divergence? Nope. Alright, tomorrow's key. Potentially exiting this position as well. Next, AAL. Looking at a little bit more decent than the past, 5-6 charts we've looked at. Closing right at the resistance. Rejection. Came close. Rejection again. So closing right at the resistance of 1781. 1 penny above. Ever so slightly increasing bull volume. Gonna want to see that follow through tomorrow. Next is SNO. SNO is, there's no volume. So we're not gonna, well, there's more bear than bull right now, but we are still in that support zone. I took a small entry today. I want to see that bull volume come in, because we can see every time it does move, based on previous experience, hasn't moved ever since January 7th, so it's been over a month. But every time it does move, there's big bull volumes. Gonna want to see what happens. Giving this limited time till end of week. I'm gonna want to see whether this follow through. As long as GP holds, we'll be in this trade. Last but not least, QS. There is news on it. We grinded down today. Did earnings come out yet? We grinded it down today. Still didn't touch that daily 8 yet. Ever since the price target upgrade to $70. Today was a slow consolidation. Decent bear volume. After hours, there's a news came out that multi-year solid state battery or something like that. And from there, we saw a gap up. Let's look at the extended hours of 10%. A move of 10%. Let's see. 11.73%. But then it sort of got sold off in as we ran into the resistance zone, we'll still be holding this as a longer term play, because you look at the daily, there is so much upside. Even if we were to just bounce or reversal into the 0.382, we're looking at 75.81 as a target. Then after that, there is a gap fill up to 84.18. So playing this through comments, so I don't have to worry about it. Let's take a look if earnings came out. Earnings report is a negative earnings. No revenue. No reported revenue. Okay. I guess people didn't like that because lots of profit taking after the news. Regardless, still looking bullish on it as long as we are trading over this 88. Still looking potentially at bull flag forming. This is going to take a long time to play out. Multiple resistances up ahead. Like the setup though. Alright, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you're looking to get out of debt or build that first pot of gold, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button in order to get updates on our daily videos. Also, check out our website at totalcontroltraders.com. There is currently a 7-day free trial into our 24/7 trading community, which you can access, ask questions for intraday chart reviews. So far, we have been able to keep all the trial members. They found it very helpful at 100% conversion rate so far. Anyways, hope you guys stay safe and be in control. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.